I was recently asked, how do you go about measuring the results for different types of marketing strategies and initiatives? And there are different ways to measure depending on your goal. So let me show you my LinkedIn and we can dive a little bit more into this. By the way, Corey and Nick love this image. So let's go into the back here and look at my profile. If I, for say, am wanting to really get a lot of eyeballs, and that is my goal here on LinkedIn, is to get a lot of eyes on particular posts, then first, what I create, that content, that's going to look a lot different than if I'm wanting to have content that's engaging, or if I'm going to want to get content that potentially has people sign up for a service or whatnot. So that's one. But on the back end, let's say I just want a lot of views and I want to start being seen for, branding and brand awareness and whatnot. I'm going to look at impressions. First of all, impressions do matter. I love to always say, like, don't pay attention to the vanity metrics, but on some level, we have to pay attention to those vanity metrics because those help us. And so if you look at impressions, this is going to help you kind of get an idea of what your audience is responding well to and what's working as far as the impressions. So this is what I would look at first. And also, I want to also note, these last couple of days, I have not been active on LinkedIn. I have been choosing to spend more time with my family and getting some baby and preteen snuggles in the morning. And that shows with my engagement levels down. Family over LinkedIn every single time. But I do want to reiterate the importance of LinkedIn engagement does help with your content and your performance. With that said, these particular posts right here weren't necessarily my goal to get tons of comments and people to sign up for services. That wasn't my goal here. This particular one, this was a call out helping Cheryl Hickerson, who is in the industry, but this was a particular one I wanted to get eyeballs on this, and it did what it needed to do. We got some good impressions on this one. I know also this one was shared as a LinkedIn article. I personally know LinkedIn articles don't perform well on LinkedIn, but they're great for SEO and thought leadership. I'm still kind of surprised it got this many impressions, to tell you the truth. Now, if I am wanting to get something that is going to get a lot of conversations going and engagement going, that's going to be a different tactic as far as the content I create. I will make sure that I can grab attention as quick as humanly possible, what I think is going to work, but also I'm going to make sure that the content is engage worthy. Does it spark conversation, and does it spark someone to leave a comment or thought or whatnot like that? That was my intent of this one today. I unfortunately decided to once again get a lot more baby snuggles this morning, so I hopped on a little bit later in the day, unfortunately. But that was my goal with this one. I wanted to spark just a little bit of conversations, going to see what other people thought with this one. If I'm going strictly just for conversation, this is one I wanted to get some conversation going also. And so it's been just a common question with my clients or people in the industry, like, hey, how do we use DMs the right way? So this is one I wanted to have a little bit of conversation, but also some thought leadership here in this one. I want to show you also for this carousel right here, or this one right here, or this right here. This was more meant as, ideally, I would love it if you downloaded it and were able to find it useful later on. I not necessarily was going for tons of engagement. I was going for impressions, but I wasn't going for engagement because this was more meant to be as a useful tool and resource for those who might need that help. So the question was, how do you go about measuring results? First, it's really important to know what the goal is of the marketing content you're creating. The second thing, it's really important to look at those analytics and see, did that work? So just reviewing a couple of my analytics, no, mine did not hit the mark every single time for my goal. So there's some tweaks and changes I need to make. Overall, what's always going to be important, regardless of what anyone says, is impressions. Impressions are always going to be important because the more people see it, the more opportunities you have for engagement on your content. Likes and hearts don't necessarily equate into new business, but that's where the conversations and the DMs are really important. So you want to have a goal for each of your piece, and whatever that goal is, then you're going to want to lean into that and also take a look at your analytics and see how things are performing and make necessary changes that you need to. I, for one, personally, I know I need to be more active on LinkedIn to get some more impressions and some more conversations going. I might be able to do that in a couple of days, or in a couple of months when the little one's a little bit older. But for right now, I'm really, spending a lot of time, focusing on the family, but also on my clients and making sure that they have everything that they want and need. So the content that I am creating, I'm really pushing heavily right now for pieces that are going to be seen as helpful and useful. So whatever season you're in, whatever current strategy or initiative you're in, that's going to make a difference as far as your goals and also the results. If you have any questions about any of this or need some help with your marketing strategy, please reach out. Check out the website. We have plenty of different services offered. We are a full-blown marketing agency that have anything you could possibly ever think of. Send me a DM, email, message me on Instagram, wherever, and we are more than happy to help.